party barge, floating bridge, luxury raft. Just some of the many functions of pontoon boats. While their basic design hasn't changed much over the years, new materials have made pontoons bigger, sleeker, sturdier, and faster. And what better way to enjoy an afternoon than on the lake? In the old days, pontoons floated atop 45-gallon steel drums. Today, they ride on custom-built floating chambers made of special aluminum alloy. These floating chambers start off as sheets of aluminum. This rolling machine forms them into tubes, applying pressure equivalent to the weight of 26 elephants. A worker slides each cylinder onto a track to stabilize it for welding. A pacing machine regulates the speed of the welding torch so that it connects the tube's edges evenly, producing a solid watertight seal. Meanwhile, this rolling machine shapes aluminum sheets into tapered cylinders called nose cones. By varying the hydraulic pressure, the operator is able to mold the aluminum into the shape of a large cone. They use a special aluminum alloy to make the chambers shockproof. Next step, making this pontoon leak-proof. First, the welder clamps the nose cone seams together to prepare for welding. Because of its unique shape, the nose cone has to be welded completely by hand. This type of welding, called TIG welding, generates temperatures that can reach 9,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The nose cones will sit at the bow of the boat in front of the other floating chambers. The waffled component at the end of each chamber is called a baffle. It adds extra protection against leaks. This hydraulic press squeezes the sections together for an extra snug fit. Chambers are welded together to form floats. The number of chambers per float varies depending on the pontoon's length. These risers will hold the pontoon's floor in place. Each chamber floats on its own, so even with several punctures, the boat would stay afloat. A worker shoots compressed air into each chamber to check for leaks. He coats the welds with a soapy solution, which will bubble up in the case of an air leak. This demonstration shows that if air can get out through this tiny hole, then water can get in through it. Workers install aluminum cross members to support all the weight that will be added on top. A pneumatic torque wrench is used to bolt the cross members into the risers with rust-proof nuts. Next, the boat's floor is constructed from sheets of pressure-treated plywood. Pop rivets anchor it securely to the cross members. Workers custom cut and glue down a marine carpet. It's made of plastic, so even with a lot of water exposure, it still won't rot. Now for some fade-resistant decals. Rollers crimp the boat's aluminum side panels to make them stronger. Corrugated panels don't warp or wobble as much as flat ones. Using a pop rivet gun, a worker fastens the panels onto the railing. This shaping machine curves the railing in all the right places, bending the malleable metal with varying pressure. Next, workers bring the assembled pieces to the platform. Screws and bolts secure everything to the boat's floor, including the furniture. The pontoon's captain will command the craft using this console. The buttons for the horn, lights, and music sit at the top of the console for easy access. Extra touches bring some of the comforts of home to this craft. Wires and control cables connect the captain's console to this 50-horsepower motor. It's by no means a high-speed engine, but it gives a pontoon boat all the power it needs for a leisurely spin on the lake.